970. Chapter name, I think, is Oden versus Kaido. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we finally get to see the long-awaited battle of Oden versus Kaido, and I got to say, I'm slightly disappointed. I guess the other thing I wanted to bring up, I think it's kind of comes from, well, one, I guess this would be light. I don't know if we really have seen this last swordsman at all. Like, this guy with the glasses. Like, did he join up at any point in the current time frame? Or is he...
I was low-key kind of thinking like the same thing. I was trying my toughest to remember this guy.
Yeah. I don't feel like he joined the main group yet in present day. Like we probably seen his face, but I don't feel like he's joined the battle plans yet. Unless I'm wrong. There's a guy with the ponytail and the shades that's a part of the 9 Chiefs. Like I don't remember.
I'm looking it up. This is Denji though. This is. Oh wait, no, this is one of the initial guys. Okay.
Yeah, Denjiro's the only person that has shades on.
Oh, so he did join up in present day. He's there with the group now.
No, he's not. He's not there in present day. There are theories that he might be Yoshiro, the one that Zoro clashed against when they killed Buddy. There's theories that he Denjiro.
No, but I'm saying that he clashed. Who did he clash against? That we don't already know who it is. Like we know the bandit guy was a fox, and we know that the guy with bandages was a killer.
Kyoshiro, the one that...
that dude. Got it.
Yeah, so people have speculations that might be Denjiro or whatever. And could be, might not be. I mean, shit.
I don't know. They don't look alike enough to me, but I guess when you take the glasses off, he could be anybody if he changes his hair around.
Yeah, right?
Right. No, they showed his eyes, though. They showed his eyes. They got it on the wiki. He took his glasses off. His eyes wide open. So he might not be that, too. I don't know. We'll have to see how that unfolds. But if they're delaying his reveal, I hope it means that he's going to add like some real battle potential to the group. Because I feel like of the people that stayed, didn't get like pushed 20 years into the future, the real battle powers to me are like Dog and Cat. Obviously, what's his face? Komatsu. Or sorry, not Komatsu, Kawamatsu. Sitting here thinking about Toriko. And then Boy Ashura or whatever his name is, the dude from the gang. But I don't think the guy, chick person, whatever, I don't even remember what the fuck the name is, because he looks like Lady Toki to me. What's his name?
Damn.
But y'all know who I'm talking about. But that guy, I don't see him as like a real battle potential. Like the stuff he did so far doesn't seem like he's really going to do much in the war. So I hope this guy is going to be like the extra that they need to go like, oh, like they have a legit shot of at least surviving this battle. Because right now, Kinemon I don't think is strong enough to take on anybody in the top half of Kaido's crew. Which means like Raizo and the Pain and Buddy are also there too. Like they're not strong enough to take on the top tier niggas. It's pretty much just Kawamatsu, Dog and Cat, Boy Ashura that are gonna carry that weight of like, oh, it's a big nigga. Like King of Fire showed up. I only see any one of those people even trying to fight him. Everybody else is probably going to get dropped immediately.
Yeah, no.
Let's hope that they're simply being slept on.
I hope so, but I don't know. And then, did you guys see anybody like King or Queen or Jack in that group?
Yeah.
I was wondering. They showed them in the flashback. They showed
the silhouettes. So if you go to page 11, you can see their silhouettes when they're low key beating the other scabbards' asses. Like you can see one of them, Raizo's kind of like running away all bloody and shit.
Oh, I see you. Guy with the sword and fire. Then I see Queen with the big bat looking thing.
Yeah.
I don't see Jack though.
Yeah.
Fuck Jack. He was probably still low key too young for it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing him.
But yeah, I think there was one thing in the last chapter that I wanted to touch on too. Oh yes, up to this point, it doesn't. Maybe this came out in like one of those YouTube videos later, but I don't understand why not Kaido, Oden decided to like turn into a goofy after he almost lost to Kaido. Did y'all get that? Because I feel like none of this was necessary. Like the whole, oh, he just decided to be a crazy person dancing around the town instead of just taking his spot. Like I don't get why he chose to do that instead of just like running his fade right then and there.
I'm pretty sure there was some type of agreement
go ahead.
between. I'm pretty sure there was some type of agreement between Orochi and Oden, whereas part of it was a promise for Kaido and his gang to leave Wano forever, and he probably had like some type of threat, like whether because I know like while they were still in there talking with each other, we saw a bunch of poison arrows hit a crowd of people right outside the palace or whatever. Yeah. So maybe Orochi was like, yeah, if you try to strike us down or whatever, I got a bunch of niggas all over Wano, ready to let it go if you try to attack me again. But I'll give you one condition to be able to stay here, and I'll let everybody live peacefully, and I'll have Kaido get out of here as long as you let me continue being the
leader.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that makes more sense. I think the only other last piece I want to bring up was like the softness of the Yonko that Oden was bringing up, which is like now we see with him, with Kaido, even though he seems like kind of a dick up front, he actually still somehow cares about people. Same thing to Big Mom. Like Big Mom's goal was like, oh, I just want to have like this one big family, even though she kind of goes about it in a dickish way. And Whitebeard seemed to be the best about it. He was still kind of a dick about it because he would go to countries, like take them over, and then put them under his flag, and then that's how he would like kind of protect them. But it was still like that initial like, yo, I'm a pirate kind of thing at first. So I don't know. Do you feel like them bringing this up mean anything to you when you read it, or change your perspective on Kaido?
You saying that there's something about Kaido where he has at least some kind of good intention? Is that what
you're saying? No, Oden brought it up because they were saying when they had to fight, Oden was like, Kaido was like, oh, I didn't want to do it around the people. And then Oden was like, oh, just like Whitebeard, you have this like, and Roger, you have this certain softness about you.
No, I thought that he was basically just saying that he didn't want to fuck up his palace that he just got built. So
no, I heard it as like he really did genuinely care about not killing people.
Wait, pause. I don't think. Yeah, like I'm pretty much with Gramps here. I'm not even like seeing those words, low key.
Hold on, let me go find it.
So I can read it for you right now.
Yeah.
So he said, why? Well, so Oden was like, "Why are you so thoroughly prepared? How did you know I was on my way to cut off your head as you sat on that empty island drinking yourself to sleep? I wasn't expecting the battling of the numbers." Kaido says, "Perhaps I have a spy in your castle. I just had my mansion built. I'd rather not have it used as a battleground. So I came out to meet you instead."
No, so here it says, especially if you lived up to your reputation as a madman who would not blink at any sacrifice. Whoa. Instead, you chose a method that would not hurt anyone. Newgate and Roger were like that too. Mighty pirates, but soft in their way.
Oh, no, that was Kaido talking to Oden, though, bro.
Yeah, Kaido was saying that.
Oh, see, I saw Oden was saying that to Kaido, and I was like, what the fuck?
Nah.
Oh, got it. Then, yeah, fuck him. He's a dick. I just want to make sure. I was like, oh, this thing is secretly nice. What the fuck?
Yeah, there's nothing nice about Kaido.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, where the fuck did this niceness come from? All right.
Oh, fuck. I was so confused. All right.
But yeah, at the end of the day, the battle was underwhelming in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it's not like, I mean, I wasn't expecting like a full-out fight, though, to be honest. I was curious to see what they really were going to show. I'm more impressed that we even like saw like the actual double slash. Mm-hmm. So I was just happy to see that. I'm a little sad to see the actual scale of how it happened and like what it actually meant, but still saw it. I mean, they're pretty much. I think they were just pretty much trying to put as much clout on Oden's name as possible before he's dead. So,
yep.
Yeah. I needed more. That was more or less it. Like, I needed to see more of the samurai, like, be able to do their own individual work. And then I needed to see more of, like, Oden besides this one sword slice. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's a flashback. We see how Kaido got cut now, so I guess it answers that question that he could be defeated. But my assumption is it really, sure, the blades helped, but at the same time, like I'm seeing the hockey lightning bolts, so I think it's mostly a hockey related thing as far as being able to damage Kaido.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was the answer I got to the question. Was like, oh, he's not invincible, but like he's basically similar to a Logia user to anyone else that didn't know hockey. Like where Logia seem invincible because you can't actually like touch them, but once you learn hockey, like, all right, y'all, it's a wrap. It's just that Kaido also has Yonko level strength to back it up behind the ability. Once you learn the ability to touch him, you still now have to compete with like Kaido as a real battle power, and I think that's where niggas will still lose anyways. But
Yep. Mm-hmm.
we go ahead and rate it then. I think I would give this probably like a decent minus. Wasn't that interested in this chapter. A little bit disappointed at the battle versus Kaido. Um, uh, and like the chapter previous to this just didn't do very good setup for me because I felt like it didn't explain much of why Oden kind of like bowed down to Orochi. So going into it, I was just kind of like, this fight should have happened the last chapter.
Yep.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. It seemed like they just they used the last chapter as just a cheap way to waste 5 years to make the time jump forward before getting into the battle. Because I'm pretty sure people would have been like, okay, so these niggas got beat. What the hell would they have done with them for that next 5 years up to Oden's death? So,
I think my thing is that it's probably the reason why it happened is like, you know how One Piece likes to do that with flashbacks where they'll show them doing something silly and then like somebody in present day will mimic that behavior to like instill like the love of the people in some way. So it'll be like, oh, somebody that was there 20 years ago and remembers Oden dancing around in the streets. Like Luffy might do some goofy shit like that, or Kinemon might do some goofy shit like that, and that'll like start to reinvigorate the older generation that was like, oh, I remember Oden, like let's start supporting them. Like I feel like this happens a lot in the other arcs. They like find that one weird thing they were doing and they like use it in the present day. So I feel like they were showing us that like that weird shit he does because somebody is going to do it in like the present day to bring the people back. Shit, maybe it's Denjiro. Maybe that's how Denjiro's gonna show up. He's been a guy that's been like dancing around this whole time or some shit. And then we're like, oh, boom, there's that nigga. Let's get it cracking.
that makes sense.
I'm gonna give this chapter it looks like we maybe got low key. They might finish this off next chapter, maybe 2 chapters max. But I think we're finally getting to the close. As far as the silly stuff, I mean, I wish we got the explanation at the beginning, but I'm assuming they're going to get into that during the actual execution. But overall, we got like a little fight. Got a little bit more respect on Oden's name. Definitely feel more confident saying pretty much Oden's like Yonko status when he was alive in his prime. So that was good to see. But everything else was just meh. So just decent.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to give it a decent trash. Plus, basically what went down is what I expected for the most part. The only difference is they didn't show anything with Orochi. I would have been happy to at least see him get slapped 1 or 2 times, but that man was completely absent for this whole battle. not exactly and so forth. So I was definitely underwhelmed with it, with the fact that it was, very predictable, and the fact that they couldn't slap him at least once before getting their ass beat. But yeah, decent Crash Plus.